I've traveled Bali's neighboring East Java over the past 10 days. Unlike Bali, East Java means rough and real traveling with early mornings when you'd rather be in bed, long days on the road, sweating through your entire change of clothes. There will be moments you're going to miss your Bali villa pool, but if you're willing to get yourself into a real adventure, some of the country's most breathtaking volcanoes, magnificent waterfalls, abandoned beaches, all in all, an unforgettable experience is waiting for you. By the end of this video, you will know how to travel all the way from Yogyakarta to Bali in 10 days in a cost and time efficient way. You will get to know the best spots that you shouldn't miss out on, as well as some pretty amazing untouched places. If you have a higher travel budget and want to journey more comfortable, you can think about hiring a private driver, which will cost you around $70 to $100 a day. For all the others, trains and buses are mainly the way to go. So we start our journey in central Java in the creative capital Yogyakarta. Yogyakarta, or Jogja as the locals call it, has an international airport and is easy to reach from Singapore or Bali. As the only Indonesian royal city still ruled by a monarchy, Yogyakarta is regarded as an important center of classical Javanese art and culture. The city has a population of 400,000 inhabitants and has incredible sites like Prambanan and Borobudur, which are one of the largest Hindu and Buddhist temples in Southeast Asia. Before we start our journey to East Java, let's have a look at the world's biggest Buddhist temple, which is located just outside of the city, Borobudur. From Yogyakarta, we are going into the night train and head eastwards to the city of Malang. The train you want to take leaves Jogja at midnight and arrives at Malang at 7 AM. You can get the ticket at the train station, but make sure you have it 30 minutes prior to departure, since the train might leave before the given departure time. The ticket costs 55,000 Indonesian rupiah, which equals $4 US. After a couple of hours of sleep, depending on your skills to sleep in a shaky train, you will arrive in Malang in the early morning. And we have two main reasons why we stop in Malang. The first reason is the Rainbow Village Chodipan. Until 2016, the entire village was basically a slum area and given up, until students had the idea to paint the city in rainbow colors in order to attract tourists, which obviously has worked out. Let's go and see this village. The way I did it is I spent mid-morning in Chodipan, rented a scooter for the next morning and decided to take the rest of the day off, since I knew that the upcoming days would become exhausting. Early morning of the fourth day, I was making my way to Tumpak Sewu, which means 1,000 waterfalls. Going there by scooter took me around 3 hours, so if you're not the biggest fan of driving a scooter in Indonesia, you can think about getting yourself a car or a driver that brings you there and back. I personally didn't want to ride a scooter in Indonesia in the first place, but after a short amount of time you get used to the way they drive here. And when I arrived at Tumpak Sewu, I laid my eyes on a waterfall that I've never seen before. Just what it was needed, clean in the blackest night, cloistered in injustice dead.
it's over, they'll be gone. The trees will bloom and ice will melt.
Back in Malang, you take yourself a taxi to the bus station, Ariosari. To get a cheap taxi, you download the app GoCheck or Grab, which is basically the Uber of Southeast Asia. From here, you take the bus to Probolinggo, which is the city at the bottom of Mount Bromo. My absolute highlight so far. Once you are at the bus station of Probolinggo, you'll want to look out for the minibuses to Bromo. Those will bring you to your accommodation at Semoro Lawang, which is something like the base camp of Mount Bromo. It will cost you around 50,000 Indonesian rupiah, once the bus is full at least, which in my case took around 2 hours. The best time to arrive there is between 4 and 7 p.m, as most people will arrive by that time. This night of little sleep, you should start your hike in Semoro Lawang latest at 2:30 a.m. in order to make it to one of the sunrise viewpoints. I recommend to go up the hill behind Siruni viewpoint. There were literally only 2 other people beside me. If you want to know how to have the best experience on Mount Bromo, I made a separate video about it. I'll link it here, check it out. And now we're going to watch some scenes of this beautiful and amazing volcano.
Show you me. Wait till I'm free, and I will show you. I will show you me. I will show you me.
The driver of our minibus offered to take us the next day at around 2 p.m. to get back to Probolinggo, which was a good offer, so we took it. Once you're back in Probolinggo, you head straight to Banyuwangi by train. The price is around $5 in order to see Mount Ijen, the blue fire volcano. In Banyuwangi, I stayed at the Mango Tree Guest House, which I can highly recommend since it's very cheap, around $3 to $5 per night, and they provide you with free water, fruits, and helpful staff. If you aren't too tired and a little bit crazy, you can go for your second volcano adventure in a row. We organized a driver that brought us to the parking area and back for 200,000 rupiah, including the gas masks that you really need and the entry price to the volcano. Ijen is a relatively ordinary volcano by day, but there's something that separates it from all the other volcanoes in Indonesia. To learn why, you will need to head to the base of the volcano just after midnight, hike up the volcano just to go right away back into the volcano's crater, which is no easy task considering the 4-mile trek uphill and the smell of toxic sulfur. Around 3 or 4 you will have arrived the bottom of the crater and you can lay your eyes on that unique spectacle of nature. Blue fire spewing out of the ground, caused by heavy sulfur deposits in the volcano. So 3 of our last 6 nights were basically nights without or just a little bit of sleep. At this point, relaxing and surfing at one of the most beautiful and empty beaches in East Java sounds appealing. And that's exactly where we are going to spend our last 3 days of our East Java adventure. You get there by firstly taking a bus from Banyuwangi to Chachak, which is around $2, 30,000 rupiah. At the bus station in Chachak, a local driver will want to bring you to the beach for 200,000 rupiah. A reasonable price that you will have to negotiate for is 120,000 rupiah. From now on, you are far from touristic places. Perfect to recover from the efforts of the last days. Me and my friend that I got to know on Ijen were literally the only people surfing in the early mornings. The only guests of the beach restaurant enjoying freshly caught fish, watching Red Island's beautiful sunset. On day 9 of our journey, we rented a scooter and went to GLand, which is a national park east of the Red Island beach and popular for being a great surfing beach. Provided the weather cooperates, which wasn't the case when we were there, but it was still beautiful. Sunburned but relaxed, our 10-day adventure in East Java should come to an end. The last road trip will be to Chachak by car and from there by bus to Bali or to the small airport in Banyuwangi. That's basically it, and my way of traveling East Java in a affordable and adventurous way. I hope this video saves you a lot of time and research. At least I had to research a lot, especially regarding transportation. There was not a lot to find, so I hope this might help you. And if you want to see more guides like this, I would love to see it with those thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button in order to travel our beautiful planet with me. And make sure to hit the bell in order to get notified whenever the next video goes up. See you next time!